Keep it out there.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's been a while.
Well, the amazing thing is we're sitting in a sukkah, sort of.
Well, yeah, not really the most kosher
No.
right now.
We don't need the kosher. The sun, we got
yes.
the beautiful hills of Eretz Yisrael around us.
Judean Hills.
This is a new spot. This is the Aharon's holy home.
The Lillians.
The Lillians.
We're at the home
right.
Lillians. Today is Chaf Zayin Tishrei.
Yes.
It also happens to be October 29th.
Crazy. What a year it's been. Unbelievable. And
it's been...
we would have done it October the 7th or a Simchas Torah special, but Baruch Hashem, we were actually busy with the Chag of Tishrei and doing you were doing your Just One Chesed Avoda, and I was doing the Unity and bookings with Baruch Hashem and all the other projects involved with. So the Chaim that we're finally back together, the Real Kindness podcast returns. We didn't just disappear with the new year. Tafshin Pei Hey, first episode, I think. We didn't manage to do one.
No.
During Tishrei. So
no, we did not. This is the
first
one
L'chaim
of the new year. L'chaim.
Thank you for the drink. Thank you for the hosting, as always.
No problem. It is. It's been 1 year, but before we get into it being one full year, we do the song.
Yes, and last time we sang the song,
we had a guest appearance, but I don't think he's going to be making a guest appearance right now because I think it's a chavruta in the kollel right now.
Yeah.
But if he's not and he's home, he might be able to hear us because he lives right there.
Amazing.
So we will
please
start.
Please go by soon as well.
What?
Not too far, just up here.
Yeah.
And the zayat. Who had the zayat in their mouth? Pop quiz. Who had it?
The dove.
The Yonah, very good.
Yeah.
Came back to the table with a bright zayat.
And that's how Noach knew.
That's how the hope came.
The marvel was over.
The symbol of peace brought hope. And that's what we hope that after a year of war, that we're going to win this war and come to true peace.
Yeah, we'll get into that after the song. We discussed it in Tikkun HaMedina yesterday with Yitzchak Ginsburg.
Sure.
And how
there's a lot to discuss.
There's chesed, there's gvura. The gvura has to come through chesed. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But first, this is a song that Rosh Shlomo had downloaded while he was at the Shuva Junction.
Wow.
Shuva Hashem et sheviteinu kafikim b'negev. 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 Hazorim bedima berina yitzaru. Hazorim bedima berina yitzaru. Hazorim bedima berina yitzaru. Yididain dididain dain. Ay 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 ay. We have to give a shout out to all of our chayalim and our chayalot, the kedoshim up in the north, down in the south, throughout the Ayos, throughout Eretz Israel.
Yeah.
Keep praying for our boys, for his boy.
3 times already in Lebanon after almost a year in Gaza.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Namash craziness. I received a message yesterday from a chayal here in the Ayosh. His wife is a ktsina that deals with bereaved families.
No, they know.
He said she hasn't been free since the 7th of October.
Oh my gosh.
And he's looking for some help so they can get like a night out at a comedy club or whatever it may be. So if anybody wants to sponsor and donate something along those lines, we'll send the link later to Just One Chesed. Just One Chesed is an organization.
Easy to find, and reach out to Yosef.
You can reach out to me.
Direct, and also to myself. I'm in a Shemaim this week. I put out on the chat, and just in Shirt David community, we have a chat, this Pitum chat. And I just mentioned that I'm looking for a sauna and some sort of spa situation for my son, because they let him off for a little bit because they just blew up all those tunnels, there's 7 kilometers, that whole Baruch Hashem. They've been very successful in Lebanon very quickly as well. But they finally gave them a break because they didn't get much over Yom Tov except for that, beautiful Simchas Torah and a little bit before Shana Rabbah, beautiful night they had. But then the day they had to go back, etc., etc. And that's when they did finish off these tunnels. So his body is just smashed from sleeping in car parks and messed up houses, or hardly sleeping. Yeah. So he, was mentioning that he was in the shower for like half an hour. His body's just aching and he just needs more and more. So I asked on the chat. And within a short time, I had loads of people send me information, but one person specifically said that he'll send him to a really fancy spa called Kumin. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Somewhere near Neve Yilan, and beautiful spa, hotel. There was dinner, so I said, I'll cover the dinner. I said, no, I'll take care of the whole thing.
Amazing. Amazing.
This is the kind of chesed that gives the boys, and not just that, it was all the support from the community. You included, you came Simchas Torah night and you hugged him, and you were just one of many of each one with their own chizuk and their own
See,
love.
the crazy thing
it
is,
gives the boys appreciation.
What they don't understand, because it's their job, right? They're 18 to 19 Megaisim, they get recruited and they join the army. Whatever it may be, whatever age they are that they join the army, they look at it as their job. That's what their job is. But we don't look at it as such. We mamash look at it, and I tell them every day, Atem malache hasharet. You're mamash angels.
Emes.
That tzaddikim and tzadkot. Whether they're the lochamim in the north or in the south or throughout, or they're the sambatziot or the tatzpaniot or whatever, whoever, it doesn't matter. They're wearing that uniform. They're protecting us throughout Eretz Yisrael. It's not a surprise that, when Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, alav shalom, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe were asked, hey, we're going to Eretz Yisrael, we want to go to Kivrei Tzaddikim, where should we go? They both said, go to Har Herzl. They're Tzaddikim. 100%. There's no ifs, ands, or buts
and
about it.
And Rosh Hashanah has been saying the whole Tishrei, that his Rebbes right now are the soldiers. Yeah. If you want to go get a bracha, come to Eretz Yisrael and get a bracha from the soldiers. Yeah, they're ones who are being lochem and with serious nefesh. They're willing to give everything up. My son all the time tells me he's willing to give everything up for Am Yisrael. That's how they're
literally everything.
Yeah,
literally. It should never happen, right? Yeah, but
and now imagine this is a year of being in this headspace. It's tiring. It's same with the Chesed, the Just One Chesed, and right now we come out of beautiful Chag, and what do we hit with? A mubble of media about the election in America and the war and what we're going through here with Iran and Shem Shreinu and like everything we're dealing with. It's like a mubble. It's like a flood. Literally, Parshas Noach, just like last year when we came out, it was a mubble of mourning and tragedy. And there's balagan information, and we have to somehow. So here's the thing.
So there's no balagan. I know we've hinted to it in the past, or maybe we didn't hint to it. The elections in America are 1 week away. And obviously, HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world, and whatever's supposed to happen is going to end up happening. Yeah. But Derech HaTeva, in the way that we see it, and from our understanding, I'm going to say something very not politically correct right now.
Good. That's what needs to be said these days.
If you're a Jew and you are not voting for the big bad orange man, okay? If you're not voting for DJT.
Not just him, it's for all his alliance. Who's he with?
It's him.
RFK, Tulsi Gabbard.
If you're not voting red in this upcoming election,
Vivek,
you are putting me, my family, and my friends in danger.
Yep.
So if you care about me, and if you care about your brothers and your sisters in Eretz Yisrael, and if you care about your brothers and sisters throughout the United States and in the world in general, and you're not voting red on Tuesday, a week from today, you need to have your head examined. Mamash. Because it's mamash, it's good
or someone's bought your
versus
soul.
Evil. She's a machshefa that's being controlled.
Only way to explain it is brainwashing or someone bought your soul. Like the comedian joked. It wasn't so polite how he spoke.
It's crazy.
At Madison Square Gardens, but one of the points he said is, maybe these people they got bought by P. Diddy's party, Shem Shreinu. I know I shouldn't say such a thing, but that kind of concept, or Achash Veirish party, they've been corrupted, like somehow
there's no question. Either that or it's
you're scared to stand up against this because it's obvious a threat to our people.
It's not just a threat to our people, it's a threat
to humanity,
to society and Western civilization as a whole. Their whole goal, their whole matara is to destroy the fabric of family. That's the whole thing with the whole
they have no policies,
transgender.
positive policies.
If you, there's no policies on the other side. Yeah. The only reason people are voting for her is because A, she's woman, B, she's not even black. She's Indian.
What's happening
or because she's got good vibes. 1 second, Mechila. She's got good vibes. Then let her decorate the White House. Yeah. Okay.
We're not. When you're voting for someone, you're not voting for vibes. You're voting for
policy.
And policy, as Rogan hosted Trump, and it was so eloquently said. People actually watch the whole thing and see how it's very clear that what Trump wants to do is going to be for the benefit of humanity. And whereas when you hear from her, you can't even hear from her. She doesn't have clear policy. She doesn't have to communicate.
She doesn't cackle.
Cackling. Yeah.
All she does is cackle.
It's not clear. Not that Trump's perfect. That's not the point. It's not about perfection. It's about choosing what's going to be best. And right now, like we're learning about Simcha as well, Lahavdil. Yeah. How do we keep the Simcha after the Chag, after such a special time? How do we keep? We only win a war, says the Tanya, if you're besimcha. You can't win the war if you're tired and exhausted. So we have to inject a new Simcha. Well, that's once again with the Chesed and with the renewal. This is what's needed right now. Noah didn't come out the table besimcha, and that was his thing. So have Aharon at the end of the picture. Avraham comes with a fire bigger than the fire in Ur Kasdim, a bigger light, a bigger energy, and that's the kind of light that Am Yisrael produce. We produce this tremendous light to the world. We have to realize we are a light unto the nations. Or Legoyim, we had this in the Haftarah, mentioned it at the Shurat David Musaf, that we are a light to the nations, and we have to realize our chesed, our learning, our prayer, these beautiful opportunities to talk and connect are what we are about. And someone like Trump, to get back to him, is wanting to empower that light. He doesn't want to take it away, whereas the others want to take it away. They literally want to prevent even on the internet. You can't even, for a day or so, you couldn't even Google the podcast of Rogan and Trump because Google had hidden it. That means there's active forces on the internet preventing this podcast or any other light-filled podcast from getting out there. And therefore, everyone who has ability, who does connect to us, needs to share. It needs to share light. Because otherwise it won't go out there. It won't naturally, organically go out there because it's not the agenda of those people who have control. We have to break that control.
Not gender, agenda.
Agenda, yeah, agenda. So I think a narrative, or however we call it. We have to break that narrative, break that agenda, break that control, and bring it back to free speech where we can put out light to the world and help the world get back to a place of light and positivity and truth and clarity. Yeah, so let's hear about what Rav Shlomo said, because you said you were going to talk about it.
Yeah, I just thought we were going to learn. It's that Rav Shlomo was Rav Yitzchak Ginsburg in Tikkun HaMedina, but we learned yesterday that the first chapter that we were doing was the inyan of Chesed, right? It's kindness. It's doing Chesed.
And we said a lot in this episode. Laman Shema Ba'ava.
Exactly. It's
for the sake of Hashem with love.
But the next chapter is Gevura, right? And Gevura is strength.
Right.
But if the strength is not coming from Chesed, if it's not coming from that concept of Chesed being, and Rav Shlomo said it a bunch of times yesterday, like he was hitting us over the head with it, October 7th and what's been going on in the north
from the trees
since October 7th has been the largest Chilul Hashem that we've had since the Holocaust.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, and it's coming from that place, because if it's not coming from a place of Chesed and it was a Chilul Hashem and getting Hashem's light out there, it's just coming from Gevura, then it's my ego. If it's coming from a place of Gevura without the Chesed, it's not about Am Yisrael, it's not about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's not about the emunah in Hashem that allows us to want to rectify things for Hashem, then it's our ego and it's coming from a place of Gevura, and that also is dangerous.
Well, it just shows you that by connecting into truth, Torah, Panemius, that gives the leadership and the individuals, the soldiers, the clarity to do their mission fully. For us as a people to be a light, we have to be tuned into the light. And the light will give us clarity that there's a system of how to approach situations like a war that we're in and a way to do it right. And I really feel deep down that Am Yisrael are tuned in, and we have to constantly keep generating that light more and more. Thank you. So that becomes the narrative, the true narrative.
Yep.
Because that's where our heads are. Heads are with the light, or with the chesed. You know, it's not going to just come naturally. That's the point. It's not just going to be whatever. It has to be with intention. That's the emphasis. It has to be learned about, and that's the blessing of bringing all the inspiration we get from Tishrei into learning and doing these podcasts and having these moments to connect. And if we don't do it, then what's going to happen is we're just going to run around thinking we're doing something that's important, but we're not going to actually achieve our goals.
Right. And I think one of the most important things, and you mentioned it before, is the light. Right? In the Tochacha, at the end of Pashat Kitavo, what does it say? Why
didn't serve Hashem with simcha?
You didn't serve Hashem with simcha. You could be serving a Kadosh Baruch Hu, but you're moping and schmoping and doing whatever. You're not doing it because your connection to your dveikus to Kadosh Baruch Hu, because you want to show him how much you love him because of all the things that he's given, and he has given us so much. He's given us a tremendous amount.
And you know what? Simcha is going to come from, once again, focusing on the light, focusing on the good, and focusing on the kindness. This is the Real Kindness podcast, doing real kindness and seeing it around you, seeing the real kindness in your home.
I have to give shout outs.
Yeah, go on.
I have to give a bunch of shout outs. I got to be honest. I said during the last year, even before the war began in Chol Hamoed Sukkot, I had a bunch of families that came in and they did pizza making.
Oh, yeah. I was watching that. Amazing.
And I had like 3 a day. There were 4 days of Chol Hamoed. It was nuts. I literally, after Chol Hamoed was over, I said to Jerry, CEO of Just One Chesed, I said, Jerry, I need a week off. Like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And literally, Simchas Torah, October 7th happened. So I want to give a shout out to all the families that came here during the war, during Chol Hamoed, before Chol Hamoed, that did stuff with us. The Seidel family, the Rockoff family, the Seitlers, the Petrikowskis, the Cohens, the Zoldans who sponsored a barbecue. There was so much stuff going on.
Amazing.
So many people coming. You know, I did pizza making 2 a day. I did 3 barbecues. I had a barbecue here at my house.
Wow.
Because they didn't have a sukkah for the specific unit that wanted it. I was like, well, we can't do a barbecue. We're not going to eat in the sukkah. It's like, what are we going to do? I'm like, I'll just do it at my house. God bless the Lillians. God bless Lillian, my wife, Eshet Chayil, who was down for them coming here. I literally have the grill is still right there.
Wow.
From the Chayalim who brought it over. The Zoldans did a barbecue for 250 sisters.
Wow.
It's been non-stop chesed.
So you guys, this is real kindness. This isn't just
it's
theoretical.
People coming into Eretz Yisrael, helping us by supporting the economy, by spending money here.
And the whole year people have been doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it more than most people firsthand, how much people are deep down.
And people
and in practice.
And people want to help and they want to do. Just One Chesed's now creating a tactical gear gamach. Right? Instead of like giving the vests and the helmets and whatever it may be to the soldiers, and then when they're back home or when they're not in Miluim or whatever it may be, it's sitting there. They're bringing it back to us, so other soldiers can be protected during that same time. But we want to up our gamach. We want to get more vests and more helmets, so more people can get. It's crazy that we still need it.
My son firsthand says the army do not have what's needed, and for example, their unit got a donation from non-Jewish supporters. Yeah, from I think. I don't know exactly the organization, but they sent amazing quality bulletproof vests before they went into Lebanon. And I mean, the footage from Lebanon, it's crazy over there. It's like massive hills, and the terrain is filled with thorns, and it's really rough territory, and it's very developed army and tunnels. And thank God we're being blessed with a lot of success.
I mean, we have to mention those that have fallen as well. It's been rough couple
really
of days.
Yeah.
Couple of guys in the reserves with, one with 6 kids, one with 8 kids, one with 10 kids. Rebbeim. And it's not pashut, it's not easy, but B'ezrat Hashem, we will persevere. Amen. We will win this war.
Renew our energy. Yeah, that's the point.
That's it. It's renewal. It's not
like
it's Breshit, it's Noach.
One person in the middle of the year to me when we were organizing an event in America said, "Enough with the war thing. Like we've already done that." I'm like, "What are you talking? My son's still there. Like what?
We're still fighting.
When did it end? Like what? And how has anti-Semitism lessened? It hasn't. And what do anti-Solism? There's a whole war going on in every way, and we have to take a picture from Trump of saying fight. He's doing that for America, so we have to do it for our people, for the Jewish people, for the world's blessing. We have to fight for it. It's not going to have the fight. It's not going to come naturally. Once again, it has to be with choice and energy and focus. And that means we have to do this proactively and not just hope that things will work out. It's Avinu was we're going to be all about him in the coming parshas. Lech Lecha. As I said, you already see him at the end. He's in last week's parsha I mentioned on Shabbos. Abraham. He's already there in Bereshis. When Hashem made the world, it was all for Avram. Because the one who's the Ish Chesed.
But Abraham, is that the letters?
Avram, yeah. He's beautiful. The whole of creation is for Avram. It's the whole point of someone who's going to do something, who's going to be proactive and not just wait for someone else to do it, to actually make a difference. And we're surrounded by that in this community, and we're surrounded by that in all of Eretz Israel, and that's the key. We are a light unto the nations. If people would want to know the truth about what's going on here, either come, connect to Yosef, connect to the beautiful community here, connect to the bookings. I've got lots of talented artists, singers, speakers who are gladly able to share their experience this last year and beyond, everything that's been going on. And there's I'm going to be in London, by the way, from 19th November till the 1st of December. It's an extended trip. I got Simchas, Baruch Hashem, but I've also got time to connect to people. I've already had a boys' organization reach out, which I usually go visit, and one of the boys themselves wants a private meeting. I can do plenty of those things while I'm there, and I'm happy to share about Just Chesed, share about all the beautiful things here in Eretz Israel, and my own journey this year. I mean, I've been looking at footage. It's overwhelming. Last night I was watching a soldier blowing the shofar during a bombardment in Lebanon. I was doing it, and there was a few other boys who were there, and some of the boys were not from religious homes at all. The most supposedly smaller-name, anti-BB, all that kind of stuff home. And they're there as soldiers, listening to the shofar.
When it comes to fighting,
and
there
is
no
interested
politics when it comes to the action.
Not about the religious side, but just the truth of it, the light of the shofar, the light of the soul. And that's the point. Now, I mentioned Shabbos, that we have to get more into the soul level, that the soul of the Jewish people is connected to Avinu, is connected to chesed, kindness. That's our intrinsic essence, that we are kind, merciful, people that have shame in the right way. And right now the avoda is that we're doing war. As you said, you have to extend it out into gevura, into strength, into koach, to remove the evil. That's what we're doing. So it's this balance of truth, and that is the beautiful light that we have. And I think that's the key, that we're going to really ultimately win this war. And we're seeing success. What happened in Iran was a miracle. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, amazing.
Have you got any stories more from just the last month? Just something that stands out? We'll end off with it.
We'll share next week.
Okay, tune in. You hear that?
We're gonna have more. I have a barbecue. I'm going in about an hour. I got to go pick up some food and deliver it to soldiers who are doing some training, and then tonight I got another barbecue.
So if the weather being good, we'll carry on this spot. Otherwise, we'll head over. We have now the backup Zera Shimshon
Family Minyan
location, or we can hopefully at some point head back into Shirat David, maybe organize something again with Rav Shlomo or a few other people. If anyone has any ideas of guests or wants to send in titles or themes you'd like us to discuss, or stories that you've gone through,
send it over.
We're open. This podcast is open. It's for you, it's for us, it's for real kindness, only love. Thanks for tuning in. Have a beautiful week, beautiful Shabbos. Amazing. There we go. What a chesed.